Hey, it's STREEZYonX, bringing you some of the major topics everyone's talking about on X today. So we had 60 Minutes trending. They aired an episode last night that had a lot of key topics people have been discussing. For one of those, they interviewed the president of Mexico, so there's a lot to be said there. They discussed drug issues and trafficking, and how that's not mostly Mexico's fault. Also, obviously, the border situation, for ultimately, he said the flow of migrants will continue unless the US addresses the root causes in Latin America by providing more aid and lifting sanctions on countries like Venezuela. And then Jim Jordan gets interviewed as well, but then we also get to see them have a special segment talking about misinformation, stating that X, formerly Twitter, is at the heart of that, and of course it is all Elon Musk's fault. They say after he took over, most fact checkers were fired and, quote, the site is now rife with trash talk and lies. Tell me what you think about this statement. And then Lesley Stahl trending as well, being one of the main reporters on 60 Minutes, but the overall opinion is not a good one. A lot of people seem to be asking why legacy news media is even watched anymore. Link to the full episode in the thread. Then Dave Calhoun trending. Who may that be, you ask? Well, that's the CEO of Boeing. Remember all the planes that have been... Yep, well, it looks like he'll be stepping down, among a few others actually, in what is being referred to as a management shakeup. Let's see how well that fixes things. And then we had mRNA trending for this video circulating with a lot of impressions, and then of course the conversation surrounding it. First, let's talk about this video. We have a clip of the Bayer Pharmaceuticals president speaking at the World Health Summit, admitting that mRNA vaccines are an example of cell and gene therapy, and said if they had asked the public if they wanted to participate in this, it likely would have been a 95% refusal rate, and the pandemic was a way for them to circumvent that. Which is funny because if you look at the CDC website right now, the first sentence of the COVID-19 vaccine overview page states that none of them affect or interact with DNA. But Dr. Robert Malone, the so-called father of mRNA vaccines because he helped invent them, has been letting us know that this claim is false, and he's been letting us know since the beginning. So really, we're just finding out another thing that they said wasn't true actually is. But wait, that's not all. I'm seeing from multiple sources that this Omnibus bill, the one they've been discussing for a while, but it has passed and is expected to be signed into law by President Biden, is going to fund research on edible mRNA vaccines. These vaccinations are grown in genetically engineered plants meant for consumption initially by animals, but of course, who is eating those animals? Oh yeah, it's us. And then of course they began adding it to food to go directly to humans as well. Of course, gotta get those vegans and vegetarians too. But even if it were for just the animals, Representative Thomas Massey mentions how there have been multiple instances of these crops commingling and cross-contaminating thousands upon thousands of other crops, where they have to burn over 100 acres of land at a time. And those are just the times that we've caught it and done something about it. And I guess it's worth mentioning that I watched this video of Rep. Massey talking about this in Congress today, even though it was posted in the beginning of March, set my phone down to type the script, and for whatever reason, even after trying to restart the app multiple times, logging into different accounts, the video would no longer play anymore. Luckily, I was able to find it re-uploaded by someone else, but I don't know, I thought that was kind of weird. Link to the further Consolidated Appropriations Act PDF in the thread in case you have a few extra minutes to knock out over 1,000 pages. And we also have the NFL trending for banning the hip drop tackle, and it said that this was a unanimous decision by the competition committee. There's worry that not only does this make it harder for players to play defense, but over the years we've been stepping further and further away from traditional football as we know it. How do you feel about this? That's all I have for right now. Make sure you're following on X for all the details in the thread, and I will see you tomorrow.